Peter had turned his back on Moscow, its onion domes, winding streets and apple orchards. His favorite place in the whole world was now St. Petersburg. Peter described these boggy, windswept islands as paradise. He liked to oversee as much of the work as possible himself, including the construction of the Summer Palace, inspired by the stately homes and gardens he'd visited in Europe. Every day Peter spent here was a happy one, as he watched his new capital rise up around him. He ordered that every cart entering the city had to bring 3 large stones with it, weighing not less than 5 pounds. These were used to turn streets of mud into the city's first paved roads. Peter could already see the great palaces, wide boulevards, parks and promenades that would one day make this city the Venice of the North. But Peter's quest to modernize Russia was far from complete. Everything had to change. Finances, bureaucracy, laws. There was no master plan. It would be step by step, as dictated by necessity. And the most pressing need was for money. Peter's tax reform centered on the creation of a poll tax, to be paid once a year by every male subject in the realm. Peasants had to pay 74 kopecks, about $100 today, while those living in towns had to pay nearly double, 1.2 rubles, about $200 today. Peasants in some parts of the country were now taxed for the first time, including inhabitants of the far north, Siberia, and the Volga region. State revenue tripled, providing Peter with the money necessary for further reforms. Peter saw his work as a sacred duty, and himself as the motherland's faithful servant. He expected the same from all his subjects, regardless of rank, from the grandest noble to the humblest peasant. To ensure the smooth running of the state, he created the post of fiscal, a secret informer who sniffed out corruption, which was then punished brutally to deter others. But bribe-taking and embezzlement remained endemic. For every 100 rubles collected in state taxation, scarcely 30 reached the state treasury. The greatest embezzler of all was the Tsar's close friend, Prince Menshikov, whose income almost equaled that of the state. Peter finally lost all patience, declaring that if someone stole even just enough money to buy himself a piece of rope, that rope would be used to hang them. Menshikov talked him down, warning that if he passed such a law, he'd soon have no subjects left. Peter was involved in drawing up statutes and charters for many new bodies, from the Academy of Sciences to the Admiralty, as well as issuing hundreds of decrees. The Tsar legislated on almost every aspect of Russian life, from the type of boot polish used to the width of cloth that was produced, the profits of merchants, the proper way to construct stoves, farming implements, the correct form of wedding, the treatment of the sick, what sort of coffin should be used to bury the dead, and how many times a week a sauna should be heated. And there were more. Each new law stipulated the punishment for breaking it, a fine for talking in church,